Getting close to nature provides a refuge from the frenetic pace of city life. But leave that smelly sleeping bag at home. Glamorous camping, or glamping, is the new upscale travel alternative to roughing it in the wild. And you'll find luxury tents, treehouse hotels, gourmet chefs, and more on Uberguide's countdown of Rizty Rustic Resorts. We begin our adventure in Thailand, a stunningly beautiful Southeast Asian nation. Famous for its sparkling beaches and majestic Buddhist temples, this country has developed into one of the world's top tourist destinations. But far from the pounding surf, in the rural north of the country is the city of Chiang Rai. This mystical area is home to primitive tribes and opium farmers. Roughly 100 kilometers north of Chiang Rai lies Four Seasons tented Camp Golden Triangle, your perfect launch pad from which to explore this exotic land. A gorgeous Asian sanctuary, it comes in at number 10 on Uberguide's countdown of Rizty Rustic Resorts. This natural retreat is located in the Golden Triangle. It's not far from the borders of Laos and Burma. It can only be reached by gliding silently through the bamboo jungle on the Mekong River. Once you make your arrival, splendid sights abound.
This whole luxury tented camp phenomenon has restarted, I would say, in the last few years, and this tented camp from the Four Seasons was one of the forerunners of this trend. And they've done a very, very good job in the sense that they're in a very unusual, beautiful location.
Here, being at one with nature takes on a whole new meaning upon your first introduction to the resort's resident pachyderms.
You see the first one, this one, her name Puang Pet, 36 years old.
They've also come up with this concept that's quite unusual. Again, something that we don't really do in our normal day, which is taking care of the elephants, riding the elephants, and there are trainers there who basically teach you how to take care of an elephant.
Try to swing your leg up. Okay. Okay, sit on the neck and grab both ears, sir.
From riding the elephants, you get a little sore, so it's nice to have some spa treatments right on site.
The spa features traditional Thai massage, or for the more adventurous, historic rituals using mountain botanicals and warming spices. You can also take this endless spirit of relaxation back to your Uber tent accommodations.
You can always go to the spa or stay in your tent and enjoy treatment on your balcony.
The tents themselves are very beautiful with these copper bathtubs.
They are real tents. Fabric walls and plastic windows, zip and unzip, a screen layer, and even a blackout layer. All of the tents here in the tented camp are themed differently. Some of the themes are the opium tent, the hill tribe tent, there's the bird watcher's tent, and this is the silver tent. The type of theme a tent has will determine what type of fabric it's going to have in it, what type of objects to art, and even the books you'll find inside the tent. But this is the real beauty of the tent, the view. Come take a look at this. Burma, Laos, very rare to find so much untrammeled nature left in Southeast Asia. All the furniture in the tented camp was specifically designed for us. In all the tents, we have these beautiful hand-hammered copper-sheeted bathtubs. But because it is a silver tent, it's silver sheets instead. And if you're not in the mood to take a bath, you can always come outside and take a shower in this beautiful outside shower with this very beautiful, large rain shower head.
After a tranquil afternoon spent lounging in your tent, maybe it's time to take a dip in the pool, or just savor the sweet aroma of the jungle. But eventually, your hunger will drive you to one of Four Seasons' many culinary choices.
Even though you're camping in this communal area, your food is quintessentially gourmet. Thai food is incredible with all the different spices and the fresh ingredients.
You can enjoy this fantastic cuisine at a picnic in the jungle, a campfire by the elephant camp, or at the richly appointed Nung Yao restaurant. Whatever style suits you, this place delivers.
Very, very beautiful, unusual location and an unusual concept. So it's part of that trophy travel, trying to take home something that maybe a lot of other people don't get to do.
Number 10 on ÜberGuide's Rizty Rustic Countdown, Four Seasons Tented Camp Golden Triangle is where Thailand's famous hospitality reaches its zenith. We now turn our sights to a resort that adds the ultimate feel-good component to any posh hideaway. A lodge high in the Swiss Alps, White Pod Resort is definitely nirvana for urban army types with an outdoor streak and a green conscience. White Pod is located 2 hours by car west of Zurich. It's perched on the side of a mountain, high above a small Swiss village, with incredible views in every direction. This resort truly captures the feeling of being lost in the middle of nowhere. If you're looking to spend a night on top of the world, White Pod doesn't disappoint.
The White Pod Camp offers accommodation in pods, dome-shaped tents. You're at 1,400 meters, you're at the beginning of the Rhone Valley, which means we have an amazing and beautiful views of the peaks down the valley.
At nearly a mile above sea level, you'll need strong lungs to survive in a pod all night.
They're pods, they're like these Uber tents. They're all white, so they match the snow, and they have fur floors and down beds. It's just an incredible place to go and experience the winter wonderland of Switzerland.
They are beautiful, very comfortable, very natural looking with wooden floors, very comfortable beds, and all natural fabrics with cottons and linens, so very, very attractive.
And for Uber Alpine junkies, the mountain refuge claws at the clouds.
It's an ideal destination for larger groups, private parties or corporate groups. It's higher up in the mountains. It's a little bit more isolated.
Upon daybreak, this getaway offers some serious activity options.
Snowshoeing is a very popular activity. You can also do some dog sledging. There are 2 ski lifts here in the resort, but it's private skiing. It's no crowd.
You can go out for the whole day here and, be seeing nobody.
And when your aching muscles need a break, there's always the spa.
There is an excellent spa with a very, very high quality massage and all kind of beauty treatments.
The resort features culinary delights with Swiss Alpine attitude.
To us, it was very important to use and propose local produce. Guests have a lot of pleasure in tasting fresh produce. So we have put a lot of effort in making sure that the products we use are local.
The emphasis is on fresh, healthy, and natural foods.
White Pod is especially famous for its cheese fondues.
It's a typical mountain dish because it's warm, because it really, really feeds you. We can offer and we want to offer a personalized service. And I think as soon as you personalize your service, you get closer to your guests because you know what they like, you know their names.
There's a real sort of family environment. It's not that we're encroaching in it, we're actually welcomed into it, which is very important.
Plus, White Pod's eco-philosophy means the resort maintains the perfect balance between humanity and nature. In such a pristine setting, what could be better than that?
When they leave, what do I hope? Well, I hope that we've proved to them that being ecological doesn't require a lot of effort.
It's one of those uber cool experiences. Why not stay in a tent? Why not stay in a White Pod? It's just one of those adventures in life.
For its sweet views, awesome activities, and fresh eco approach to tourism, White Pod is ÜberGuide's 9th pick on our Uber Rural Mega Search. Coming up, a fantasy treehouse hotel in the Costa Rican jungle. Next on ÜberGuide's countdown of Rizty Rustic Resorts. From the heat of the Thai jungle to the frosty alpine heights of Switzerland, ÜberGuide is on the hunt for the ideal combination of natural beauty and luxe accommodation. Our ritzy rustic odyssey continues now to the mist-shrouded jungles and sun-kissed beaches of Central America's vacation paradise, Costa Rica. Here, hidden in one of the country's most glorious wildlife sanctuaries, is where a truly relaxing escape is found. The Costa Rica Treehouse Lodge, number 8 on ÜberGuide's countdown. Surrounded by palm trees, exotic flowers, and traditional carvings, this is about as far away from civilization as you're gonna get.
It's quite a remote place. From San Jose, it's a 3.5-hour drive through the rainforest, and then you drive into the wildlife refuge, Condoca Manzanillo Wildlife Refuge. We are centered in the heart of that wildlife refuge. It's quite a drive, but it's really worth it.
The name of this resort certainly tells the story. The Costa Rica Treehouse Lodge features spectacular natural hideaways, each with its own Uber appeal.
From the windows out here, tomorrow morning you're definitely gonna hear the monkeys. 5 o'clock usually, that's the hour that the monkeys start. The idea of building the beach house particularly is to integrate nature with our environment around us. It's very important that we use reclaimed woods, which are fallen trees. We carefully select these trees in the forest and bring the boards down here from which we build our houses.
Other accommodation options include the Beach Suite. It features a stunning 800-square-foot restroom, complete with Buck Rogers ceramic faucet handles, an anaconda shower head, and the ultimate mood modifier, a seahorse jacuzzi. Who wouldn't be ready for love after a little time spent in here?
I have a big passion with flowers. I like to share the flowers, and same reason I like to bring it into the houses.
There's also the signature tree house. This is where every lazy dream is an inspired thought. Imagine relaxing in this hammock or being suspended mid-air on this swinging chair.
Personally, it's very important, especially nowadays, to think really green, to be really green, and to act green as well. I try to be very sustainable. The water is heated with solar energy, employ local people. We are located on the Punta Uba beach. It's this beautiful white beach, palm trees on it. It's what you expect from tropical beaches. It's just paradise. Oh, there's lots of things to do, besides relaxing, obviously. Just being on the beach, snorkeling, diving, horse riding. We are located within a wildlife refuge, so it's a must for me that people go out and see wildlife and do a hike in the wild, get to know more about the forest, medicines or plants, birds. Very, very nice.
And in true eco-sensitive fashion, the lodge is doing everything it can to save the area's rapidly disappearing reptiles.
I started the Green Iguana Foundation about 7 years ago, which is an endangered species of animals, and we have like a nursery. We reintroduced the green iguanas back into the wildlife refuge. What makes me very happy about being here is maybe trying to be an example how you can live green, how you can live very simple.
For advocating a healthier approach and offering a relaxing respite far from the bustle of everyday life, the Costa Rica Treehouse Lodge sits pretty at number 8 on our ritzy rustic countdown. Our exhaustive trip around the planet now takes us to Mexico's Pacific shores. It's here, in the resort city of Puerto Vallarta, that the magic of sand, sun, and surf combine to create the idyllic holiday atmosphere. However, you're here to escape. 2 hours south of Puerto Vallarta is where the ultimate private resort stakes its claim, Hotelito Desconocido, serenity and beauty beyond your wildest dreams.
It's one of the most romantic, beautiful places I've ever seen. It feels like its own world entirely. It's on an estuary with all of these rare birds.
This is a place separated from the world, an exclusive place somewhere on the Pacific coast. That's our slogan. Most of our people is couples. They're looking just for a memorable experience.
And the memories won't be difficult to make. Hotelito Desconocido is where lovers of all kinds can embark on a true fantasy adventure.
You can go horseback riding all along the beach, 30 kilometers north, 30 kilometers south. So you have a huge place where you can go and explore.
Being so far removed from civilization, Hotelito has a special, practical commitment to nature.
Philosophy here is ecology. Relaxation is the second thing, luxury and privacy. We need to take care of nature. That's why we have bicycles for the bags. No power, no electricity. We have the solar panels, the little electricity that we need for the offices and the computers.
Plus, guests have the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to help release baby sea turtles into the wild.
When they hatch, we release the baby turtles with guests, a unique experience.
Despite all the outdoor eco-activities, this environmentally friendly vibe is best felt in the hotel's superlative accommodations.
I think every room is a piece of art, like the wood, the clay, and the painting. The bathroom we call bamboo shower. It's an open-air shower. It's very private.
You have this incredible view of the Pacific Ocean, and all the bird life is right outside of your cabin, and you see horses wandering along the beach and sometimes whales right in front. And then at night, there's no lights on at all. It's candlelit everywhere. Very beautiful and luxurious, but you feel like you're right in the middle of nature.
In the morning, Hotelito Desconocido has come up with the coolest way to signal the resort's ever-ready staff.
They have some really fun touches, like when you wake up in the morning and you want to have coffee, you raise a flag.
As soon as the staff notice that you have the flag up, they will show up with your room service.
This is where you can indulge your fixation on relaxation. There are few places anywhere in the world that can offer a setting that so inspires the soul.
It's barefoot chic, I guess, is how I would describe it. Luxurious, but at the same time close to nature.
Number 7 on ÜberGuide's countdown of Rizty Rustic Resorts, Mexico's Hotelito Desconocido is where you can soak in all the wonder of nature while being pampered beyond your wildest dreams. Next on ÜberGuide, we travel to Australia to experience a rainforest eco-lodge with a spiritual healing power. ÜberGuide is cruising with the jet set, scouring the globe for the most luxurious rustic resorts. Australia is the world's smallest and flattest continent. A land of extremes, it features stunning ocean experiences, incredible outback vistas, and ancient primordial wooded playgrounds. Hidden away within the land down under's oldest living rainforest is Daintree Eco Lodge and Spa. This exclusive hotel for well-heeled adventurers hits number 6 on our Uber countdown of posh hideaways. Located a couple of hours north of the city of Cairns in northern Queensland, Daintree Eco Lodge offers guests an opportunity to experience the ultimate jungle adventure.
It's on the edge of the oldest rainforest in the world, and the way they've constructed it is these treehouse accommodations that are linked to each other by elevated walkways. It creates a very close to nature again experience. Paul Simon, Brooke Shields, and Jane Fonda are some of the celebrities that have gone out there looking for some R&R.
Very relaxing feel to this place, very spiritual connection to the Aboriginal people.
Daintree's commitment to the environment is stellar, as it must be to survive in such a demanding yet beautiful setting. The Eco Lodge only employs folks who can master life in the rainforest, a cinch for those whose ties to this land go back literally tens of thousands of years.
All the people who work there are Aborigines, so they help explain, Aboriginal art, Aboriginal customs, and give you really a sense of place.
The impeccable service here begins with fabulous culinary choices.
Jalamba restaurant, we do light Australian cuisine with a native twist, using all local produce. It's a sensational setting in the rainforest with a stream running through underneath it into the Daintree River.
Plus, the restaurant can only be reached via an elevated boardwalk system. Over at the spa, the art of relaxation takes on a distinctly ancient aura. This jungle is home to the spiritual ancestors of one of the local tribes, and the spa captures these natural forces to create an incomparable healing environment.
Spa was wonderful. I had a massage there. Definitely the best massage I've ever had, hands down.
Combined with the natural sounds of the nearly 400 species of birds that can be found in the Daintree rainforest, massages, nutritional body treatments, and facials present a whole new level of bliss. And yet, the ultimate supreme comfort can only be found in your room. The lodge features the uber privacy of only 15 tree houses.
The tree houses themselves are very luxurious. Again, canopied beds, flat screen TVs, the kind of amenities that people like.
Imagine the serenity of relaxing in this jacuzzi tub while listening to the sounds of the rainforest outside.
Well, we like the fact that the rainforest seems to come to within about 3 feet of where we're sleeping.
For those whose hearts long to explore beyond their high-class rooms, Daintree offers an exclusive Aboriginal rainforest walk.
Hi folks, my name's Juan. I'm going to take you on a little walk through the rainforest up to a little waterfall.
Here, you will learn about the wonders of these prehistoric woods.
This is what they call silver wattle. If you get the leaves and soak them in water, the people use this stuff here for soap.
You can visit a waterfall reputed to have special healing powers only for women. Or, given Daintree's close proximity to the Great Barrier Reef, enjoy the wonders of the sea before venturing back to your jungle abode.
No, I don't necessarily think it's the right place for people who have a very usual vacation experience, but for somebody who's looking for something different, staying up in a tree house in this old rainforest is a very special one.
For offering luxury, refinement, and a decidedly authentic touch to a rainforest getaway, Daintree Eco Lodge and Spa comes in at number 6 on ÜberGuide's countdown of Rizty Rustic Resorts. Many of the world's most important business decisions are made in the cities that line the eastern seaboard of the United States. Those who make them require a close getaway that meets their posh expectations, while delivering a refined sense of rest and relaxation. Winvian, a super luxe rural resort in Connecticut catering to the jet set, certainly does the trick. It also claims the 5th Uber spot on our Rizty Rustic countdown.
Winvian is big news in New York and the surrounding states because it is such an unusual concept. Serious New Yorkers are getting into their more playful mood when they go to visit there.
The atmosphere here is very understated elegance. We're nestled here in the Litchfield Hills, a couple of hours from Manhattan and Boston. 113 acres, surrounded on 3 sides by 4,300 acres of the White Memorial Foundation. Our guests are apt to come by plane, by car, and even by helicopter.
Winvian's appeal lies squarely with its dizzying array of cottage accommodations. Money was no object when each of these came to life.
It is a very unique property. We have everything from the Sikorsky helicopter in the helicopter cottage to Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court. We have a camping cottage that is very much camping Winvian style. We have woodlands, we have the beaver cottage, and we have a music cottage. In keeping with some of our Connecticut themes, we have our log cabin, and we have a golf cottage that the guest can actually pitch and putt his or her way through.
Thrust into the frenetic East Coast lifestyle at an early age, for many moneyed Ivy Leaguers, a resort must appeal to their inner child to be truly fulfilling. Winvian offers the ultimate throwback to the early years, Treehouse.
It has actually been one of our most popular cottages, and I think partly because it seems to pack quite a punch with the young set as well as the older ones. And we are literally in a treehouse that is anchored among the trees outside, a little over 35 feet off the ground, so it is not for the faint of heart. It actually does sway when there's a breeze blowing.
No super luxe resort would be complete without presenting some of the finest dining that money can buy. At Winvian, the culinary temptations are truly for those straddling CEO status and beyond.
The chef Chris Eddy studied with Alain Ducasse and Daniel Boulud, so the cuisine is of a very high caliber.
The menus are created every day. We make everything absolutely fresh from scratch. A typical lunch that we do here at Wind Inn, we have scallops with a northern Spanish preparation of basquez, lobster with almond milk, and some vegetables from our garden. We consider ourselves very much New England, so we try to keep things very local. Instead of keeping a lot of things in a walk-in or a refrigerator, I've got them all out in my garden. So as we need things, we can go out there, which is a great luxury as a cook.
Once you've excited your palate, it's time to excite the other neglected senses. The Wind Inn Spa is the perfect sea of tranquility.
By the time you've gone on your fresh country walks and also had a facial, you look like you've been out of the country, not just a few states over.
Wind Inn, a Connecticut getaway for the rich and famous that delivers the perfect de-stressed atmosphere. After a week spent here, the boardrooms of Manhattan and beyond will certainly bend to your will. And that's why it's number 5 on our Uber Amazing list. A fantastic vantage point only to be experienced in the outback of the land down under, when ÜberGuide's countdown of posh pastoral hideaways continues. Relaxation for the soul and escape from civilization combine on ÜberGuide's countdown of Rizty Rustic Resorts. Now for a wilderness adventure that simply sizzles. The Australian outback is a mythical place of splendor and endurance. In this forbidding desert environment, the colors and beauty here mystify the mind. Tucked away in this barren land is Uluru, or Ayers Rock. A world-famous landmark, its location in central Australia means only the toughest of souls are bound to be found here. For those who choose to brave this backcountry, there's a luxurious oasis that offers a stunning panorama of Uluru and uncompromised service. Voyages Longitude 131, ÜberGuide's 4th pick on our countdown of Rizty Rustic Resorts.
15 tents overlooking Ayers Rock, Uluru. Beautiful 5-star camping in the middle of the outback.
The uber-posh accommodations are what sets this resort apart. Luxury tents, raised off the ground on stilts, offer up the finest amenities money can buy. The romantic white domed roof is sure to put a love spell on any couple. If the red bedding doesn't set your passions on fire, then the automated blinds certainly will. They open your eyes to a vista of spectacular proportions.
Beautiful king-size beds, peaceful, no TVs, very spiritual, very connected.
Each of the tents is named after a famous Aussie explorer, bringing a hint of the historic nature of this spot to life. Given Longitude 131's incredible proximity to Uluru, tours to this magical rock are the highlight of the activities here.
History there is absolutely amazing. It is a World Heritage listed site, and it's actually a sacred site for the Aboriginal people. There is a story between everything.
She comes around here and she rises up on the rock. Can you see her up here? Have a look, guys. Very clearly you see the python.
There are also other tours available to areas nearby. Catered, or the Olgas, are 36 massive domes that bubble out of the horizontal landscape. It's impossible not to be swept up by the grandeur of such a place.
You go for a walk through the Valley of the Winds, you get told stories, see some artwork. For quite a few people, the Olgas is actually more interesting than the actual rock.
Upon your return to the bush hideaway, you're immersed in lavish comfort. The guest area provides wide views of the surroundings. Imagine what you might see through the telescope. The culinary experience here is exquisite. The dining room provides you with ample opportunities to both tickle your palate and get to know your fellow campers.
It's the real Australia. It's totally unique being in the outback.
As night falls, Longitude 131 serves up the ultimate eating opportunity, dining under the stars.
You actually get to go and sit around a campfire and have an astronomer talking about the night sky, seeing the Southern Cross, and it's just, that's when you really get to know you're at peace.
With a maximum of 30 guests, Voyages Longitude 131 is where privacy, extravagance, and nature mesh together to create a ritzy rustic resort that you'll never forget. And that's why it's number 4 on our Uber countdown. We now jet to Big Sky Country for a kicking cowboy experience that definitely puts the glitz into ranch culture. Montana is one of the most scenic states in the Union and is a living testament to the power of manifest destiny. It's here that Lewis and Clark pushed the boundaries of 19th century America and where Custer fought his last stand. Today, this pastoral setting is best taken in at the resort of Paws Up. Number 3 on ÜberGuide's Ritzy Rustic Countdown, this is the perfect place to live out your Wild West fantasy and be pampered country style.
Wonderful horses. You're doing your cowboy experience in a more luxurious way.
The ranch itself is a working ranch, and the integrity of the ranch has been kept. 37,000 acres.
With such a monstrous playground to revel in, there's no shortage of things to do. Paws Up is unquestionably where city slickers come to be broken in.
About 90% of the people have never been on a horse or have real minimal experience. I like that because they'll tend to listen to you.
To get your horse to go, you just bump your legs or squeeze into their belly. And to turn to the left, you put your hand forward and across their neck to the left.
They have about 50 heads of cattle. So if you really want that kind of cowboy feeling in this luxe type of environment, you can actually go and help birth a calf.
If you're not interested in checking out the calving process and you can't manage to mount a horse, you can always cruise the wilderness on an ATV, pound the pedals on your mountain bike, or shoot some skeet. With the Blackfoot River meandering through the property, there's also plenty of H2O action. You can enjoy the tranquility of world-class fly fishing, or...
If you fall out for whatever reason, all you do is just swim back to the raft, and we'll pull you right back into the boat.
Take on the heart-pounding excitement of whitewater rafting. In addition to quite obviously being rustic, Paws Up is unquestionably ritzy too. It's on the cutting edge of what's cool, with a unique Uber vacation experience called glamping.
Glamping is glamorous camping. This is Uber camping at its best. We're talking 6-star tents with hardwood floors, art hanging on the walls. You get a private concierge and a private chef. So it's a very private, exclusive experience.
Staying in a camp or riding horses all day is not something that most of us get to do anymore in our usual life, and it's a nice return to nature while still having your creature comforts.
And this is what we call glamping. This is electric blankets, down pillows, down bedding. Glamping is one of those words that the purists just loathe, but it really does tell the story. They're absolutely as fabulous as a 5-star hotel room. This is the workout tent. Dawn to dusk, people can come and work out on their own schedules. When you open this up, you get the full view of the valley. And the reason that it's closed in the daytime is because the deer and the antelope play.
If you need to work out a few kinks earned while riding side saddle on the range, then Spa Town is for you.
Those are tents which are set up with first-class massage and spa amenities. Our attendants will also give you in-home spa treatments as well.
The food is ultra aristocratic. There's none of that typical cafeteria-style camp fare here.
We have 2 restaurants. Trough is more casual, family-style, open breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The food that we serve is very approachable, very comfortable, very recognizable food, pretty simple fare. And the fine dining restaurant, which is Pomp, we use a lot of classical techniques and ingredients. We're using a lot of innovative techniques as well.
Then all you have to do is swing it, and then you have to hold on to these. And then you're like, oh, I'm not really good at it.
This is a place where the whole family can walk in the footsteps of Wild Bill Hickok and Annie Oakley.
I'm kind of good at it.
It's tough to get the boys to drop down their Nintendos, but here they put down their games and actually get out and have some fun with animals and the wildlife, so it was terrific.
I love it. This has been our best family vacation ever.
Paws Up is awesome.
It's a great place to actually be at peace with nature because there's just a lot of acreage here and a lot of places for wildlife to be.
We couldn't say it better ourselves. And that's why Paws Up is number 3 on ÜberGuide's countdown of ritzy rustic resorts. Next, ÜberGuide's adventure continues at a pristine wilderness resort on Canada's rugged west coast. Rustic resorts with an over-the-top posh factor are the target of ÜberGuide's affections. Untamed Pacific terrain is where we head to next. Our next luxe hideaway is found nestled in one of the most diverse rainforests on the planet. Just off the coast of Canada's westernmost province of British Columbia, Vancouver Island is a remarkable place filled with wildlife and even wilder terrain. This is the Cote Sound UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, a sprawling protected area of the island that's home to an intricate web of life. Situated in a bay within the biosphere and surrounded by pristine old-growth rainforest, Cote Wilderness Resort gives guests an unparalleled opportunity to become one with nature. It's also number 2 on our countdown of ritzy rustic resorts.
You're in a luxurious tenting camp and really enjoying a very pristine natural environment where the trees are 600 to 1,000 years old and right beside the Pacific Ocean and then the Bedwell River Valley. So you're in an amazing wilderness location.
Once your bush pilot lands the plane, a horse-drawn wagon ushers you to the resort. It's here you'll come face-to-face with an outdoor lifestyle that hasn't changed since gold prospectors scoured the area over 100 years ago.
It's still very untouched. We get right into the nature with our guides and do the hikes way up into the mountains, through the river valleys.
The list of things to do here is endless. If you love the rugged, untouched wilderness, then your fantasy becomes reality.
We do horseback riding, we have hiking, we do river kayaking as well as ocean kayaking guided. We do clay shooting and archery. We have some incredible mountain biking. And then of course we do fishing of every variety, both deep sea and freshwater.
But if you just want to enjoy some good old-fashioned fun, then maybe a jump off this suspended bridge is for you. In true prospector fashion, staying here means grabbing shut-eye in one of these exclusive tents. With a total of only 20, the resort caters to a discriminating crowd craving privacy. Each tent features Adirondack-style beds, lavish down duvets, antique furniture, and remote-controlled propane stoves.
At nighttime, when the guests are having dinner in the dining room, the staff goes in and turns down your bed, lights all the little candles in the tents. So as you walk to the tent, you see the tent glowing, and then you open it up and it's all just lit by candlelight. So yeah, it's very, very romantic.
Despite these opulently rustic accommodations, all the comforts of home are only a wish away. Wood-burning boilers supply the hot water, while generators purr quietly to contribute the electricity. Your taste buds will certainly be working overtime here. The food is prepared by classically trained chefs who are virtuosos at the intricacies of modern cuisine. They also endeavor to use local products, some of which are unique to the rainforest.
Our chef calls his cuisine modern natural cuisine, and he really prides himself on using local ingredients, all organic and natural.
Once your meal is finished, perhaps a dip in one of the wood-fired hot tubs will create the intended mood. Or maybe just looking out over the immaculate bay and mountains will satisfy your soul. Cote Wilderness Resort is truly a hallowed hideaway that will take your breath away, which is why it's number 2 on ÜberGuide's Ritzy Rustic Resorts Super List. Next, ÜberGuide's luxurious hideaway countdown settles on number 1, a South African experience featuring the largest land animal on the planet. ÜberGuide's countdown of Rizty Rustic Resorts zeroes in on the ultimate getaway, an opulent African adventure that touches the wild. Africa has long had the reputation of being the ultimate place for adventure seekers with a rugged edge. From the world's largest waterfall, Victoria Falls, to the pyramids of Egypt, Africa offers a massively diverse menu for the intrepid traveler. Definitely the continent's most tourist-friendly nation, South Africa is also arguably the most breathtakingly beautiful. And Gora Elephant Camp is the most striking example, which is why it's number 1 on ÜberGuide's countdown of Rizty Rustic Resorts.
Gora Elephant Camp is situated in the Eastern Cape. We're in the Addo Elephant National Park, which was created in 1931. Once you get here, you feel like you're a million miles away in the heart of Africa.
The camp is smack dab in the middle of the densest elephant population on Earth.
South Africa is well known for its wildlife and scenery. Gora Elephant Camp is particularly beautiful. What's very nice about this place is when they started out there, they only had 11 elephants, and now they have over 450.
The herds vary in size quite considerably. Obviously, they're family units, so those in the herd are very closely related. Our smallest herd here, they're probably only about 20, 25 animals in the herd, and then the largest herds can go up to 60, 70 elephants at a time.
The resort's historic Gora farmhouse is a tranquil oasis in the middle of an incredible picture-perfect setting.
Gora is a very personal experience. The land has a sense of history about it. The old Gora farmhouse was built a long time ago in 1786, and it has lived through South Africa. It's a story of love and romance and history and tragedy and war and drought. It's not a hotel, it's a home, and you can feel that essence there, and that's what makes Gora so special.
The wildlife is purposely brought into close proximity with the guests. Where else can you sip a cup of coffee in the morning while observing the most incredible animals only feet from your veranda?
There's something special about the Addo elephants. You are able to get a lot closer to them. They come very close with their young. In a way, they just say to you, come closer, we have something to show you. It's a touching, almost spiritual experience that you have.
We were greeted by a huge elephant, you know, up close and personal. You didn't even think that it would happen. And my heart was like beating. I thought, okay, you know, I'm in for more in Gora.
And Gora's unique tented rooms are beautifully decorated. They offer a once-in-a-lifetime experience with the wild side of nature.
I was woken up twice by lions, which apparently went over our porch because there were big footprints on our porch this morning. It's very exciting. We're just glad it's a very strong tent.
Spending a day at Gora is unlike anything you've ever done before.
From the moment you wake up, greeted by tea at 7:30, sit out on the veranda and look at this wonderful view, go off for a game drive, have lunch while sitting here watching elephants, zebra, warthogs all in front of you, have afternoon tea, a second game drive, and it just makes the whole thing very special, which is what we were after for our honeymoon.
And is it possible to dine on the finest cuisine while observing the wildest game? At Gora, anything is possible.
The chefs have had some strange things on their menus, from eland to zebra has also been served, but our more common ones are the likes of kudu and springbok and ostrich, which are very popular game dishes and cooked to perfection.
The service is fantastic. The food is delicious. You kind of feel like you're doing safari luxury style.
All over Africa, preserving wildlife is becoming more and more important because that's what draws tourists. You can feel like you're going somewhere that's actually making a difference in terms of conservation and development. And I think more and more people want to go somewhere that is giving back to the community or to the country.
It's perfect holiday. Last night the lions were roaring. They were saying goodbye. Probably they are as sad as we are to say bye-bye to this wonderful place.
Because nothing quite stirs the soul like seeing the cornucopia of African wildlife while relaxing in the lap of luxury. Gora Elephant Camp is #1 on ÜberGuide's countdown of Rizty Rustic Resorts. When cost is no object, getting close to nature can truly be a pleasurable experience. Whether you're running with the elephants or freeing the baby turtles, releasing your inner cowboy or the champagne cork, the lap of luxury is an ideal vantage point for appreciating the wild. Now ditch the cold hot dogs and smelly sleeping bags. This is ÜberGuide's countdown of Rizty Rustic Resorts.